Menachem Av, the Bezat Hashem Borei Olam will bring us the Nechama and the Geula this month. Bezat Hashem, like Chazal is saying, that the day of Tisha B'Av, it's also a potential to have Bezat Hashem the final redemption. So in this parasha, Madot Mas'eh, one of the topics speaks about the Nedarim, right? Which Nedarim? Vows. Halachot of vows. Especially when it comes to vows that has to do with your wife. Your wife made a neder, right? She promised that she will never go to a certain place anymore, to her mother-in-law, and you want to cancel it. So the Halacha says that if the husband heard about the neder and right away he cancel it, it's good, right? So the pasuk is talking about all of these details. Now, what happens if the husband heard it and he didn't cancel it? So then she has to fulfill the neder. But if third case, what happened if the husband canceled it? Right? But she didn't know about it. Let's say she said, I promise I will not eat any more cakes. And the husband knows his wife. And he knows exactly that she's going to be able to support her with that vow exactly 12 hours. She knows that. He knows that. So immediately he says, I want to do Atarat Nedarim. I'm canceling the neder. You don't need the rabbi. You don't need 3 witnesses. As soon as the husband already heard it, he can cancel it. Says the halakha, automatically the neder, the vow, it's canceled. But the woman doesn't know about that. And eventually, after 12 hours, she couldn't hold herself anymore, and she came. She ate a piece of cake. Now, she did a mavon or not? The pasuk says, "V'Hashem yislach la." Why V'Hashem yislach la? Because in her mind, she was sure that she was doing, that she had the neder. So even though lema'aseh, halakha lema'aseh, she didn't transgress the neder, but in her mind, there was a sin made up. Rabotai, there is an unbelievable chidush I would like to share with you today. There is a famous Gemara. Chazal is saying, Rabbi Akiva was one of Asara Arugei Malchut, one of the 10 Chachamim that were killed by the Romans right after the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. And Chazal is saying that when Rabbi Akiva was learning these halakha that I just said, he was crying. He cried. When Rabbi Akiva was learning the halakha of Hashem Yislach La, he cried. Why did he cry? Say Chazal. Says Rabbi Akiva, if a person that thought that this piece of meat that he has in front of him, it's a piece of pork, and he ate it with the intention that it's a piece of pork, but really it was a piece of meat, kasher lamehadrin badatz. What's the halakha? We learn from here that there is a certain level of teshuvah that he has to do, only because he was sure that the action that he was doing was an isur. Says Rabbi Akiva, Kol sheken, more and more, if at the end of the day the plate, the piece of meat that he had was actually a piece of pork, barminan, and he ate it, how much he has to be careful and to do the proper teshuvah for the terrible sin that he did. Now, I just want to open up a very quick parenthesis. Rabbi Akiva cried many times. It's not the first time that he cried. Rabbi Akiva cried, if you remember, the end of Masechet, the Gemara, the end of Masechet Makot. The Gemara brings the famous story of Rabbi Akiva with the students walking by Bet Kodesh HaKodeshim, right? And they saw the fox coming out from Bet Kodesh HaKodeshim, and everybody cried. But instead of crying by Rabbi Akiva, what does he do? He laughs. Rabbi Akiva was usually the opposite, not crying. So why over here he cried? There is a secret, according to the Kabbalah, that they said Rabbi Akiva was one of the 10 pillars Chachamim that got killed, right? Why these 10 Chachamim that got killed? Why? So we all know what the Caesar did. He called up all the Chachamim and he said, can you explain to me a pasuk in the Torah? He took up a Torah and he said, there is a pasuk that says, Gonev ishu mecharo mot yumat. If a person kidnaps another person, he deserves penalty of death. It's that true? He asked each one of the Chachamim, and they said, absolutely yes. So if that's true, how come that your ancestors, they kidnapped their brother, they sold him as a slave, and Borei Olam didn't punish them? Your ancestors are all the tribes, Reuven, Shimon, right? Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zevulun. They all took Yosef, they kidnapped him, and they sold him. Therefore, says the Caesar Rasha, he says, I come to fulfill the will of God. And therefore, I'm choosing all of you 10 Chachamim, that you are the highest ones in the generation, to be mechaper the sin of your ancestors. What's the problem? What's the problem? How many brothers they sold you, Yosef? How many? Huh? So we have what? How many do we have? We have 12. Binyamin was not there. Yosef was not there. And we have another one. Who is it? Who is it? Chazal is saying that it was Reuven that went to pray. And when he came back, he said, where is the brother? So how come that HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed the 10 Arugei Malchut to be killed, to be mechaper the sin of the 10 brothers, if Reuven was not part of it? So Chazal is saying, there is many terutzim, that the Rabbi Akiva came to be mechaper, according to some opinions, came to be mechaper. He was the Gilgul of Yosef himself. Because Yosef, even though he was sold, but he was part of the cause. By speaking Lashon Hara to the brothers in front of Yaakov and causing all this machloket. But there is a second explanation. Rabotai, the second explanation is Rabbi Akiva came as a Gilgul of Shimon, Shevet Shimon. Now what happened with Shevet Shimon? I'm thinking with you a little bit, but if you remember, Shimon was taken by Yosef, was taken by Yosef when the brothers got to Mitzrayim the first time. Yosef took Shimon and he said, until you bring me Binyamin, I will be able to release Shimon. Say Chazal, what happened with Shimon? Shimon, my dear friends, had negative thoughts about Yosef HaTzadik. He was the one who spoke and he said, let's sell him. Let's do the action. Chazal is saying Rabbi Akiva comes above all the rest of the Chachamim and he's the Gilgul of Shimon. But what is this connected? Remember I told you that Rabbi Akiva cried? What did Rabbi Akiva cry? He said, if for a negative thought of when you have a piece of meat that is not kasher and you were sure that this is not kasher and you ate it, but at the end of the day was kosher, It's considered a sin. More and more, if the actual meat was not kosher and you ate it. Says Rabbi Akiva, not only the 10 brothers, the 9 brothers, they made a scene, right? Because they agreed to sell Yosef, but Shimon that did the action and took him the pit and sold him. Alachat kama v'kama. And that's why Rabbi Akiva took upon himself this responsibility to be mechaper, the greatest sin of all the brothers. That's why Rabbi Akiva cried. But what's the idea behind this? You know what's the idea? That to be a Jew, it's not enough to do actions. To be a Jew, you need a heart. This is compare. One time a guy said that there was a couple, true story, couple, that they could have, they had the daughter, unfortunately, with a certain type of mental disease. Okay? It's not a mental disease, it's Down, syndrome of Down. And the daughter saw her friends that were at the Redwood School getting married. So she was coming back home and she was saying to her parents, I want to get married. I want to get married. How are they going to marry her? She's not suitable to get married. The parents didn't know what to do. Finally, they found an organization that are doing fake weddings to those boys and girls without a couple. Only the girl with the dress of a kala, with the hall, with the music, with the dancing, like a bat mitzvah type, but it's a wedding. And the girl got so excited that she was part of and when she got the dress, I cannot even tell you the joy that she had. The wedding was a full wedding with music, with a photographer, with videos. The wedding was unbelievable, and the kala was extremely happy. Rabotai, the wedding was over. They gave to the family the album of pictures of the event. And one day, one of the nephews of that girl, the syndrome girl, the Down syndrome girl, comes to visit the family, and they show her the album of pictures. And they tell her, she got married. She got married. I didn't even know about that. And how come? So they opened up the album. And they started to look page after page. And she was in shock. She sees the hall. She sees the flowers. She sees the guests. She sees the kala. But she's going back. Another page and another page. There's no hatan. So the nephew says to her, that's a fake wedding. Why fake wedding? There's no hatan. If there is no hatan, you get married to who exactly? So immediately the family get involved and they, they explain it. No, and it's, she got fully married. And Baruch Hashem, everything went well. But Rabotai, who was right? Who was right? The nephew. Why? Because if there is no hatan in the wedding, you can have everything ready and prepared. The main thing is missing. I'm saying the same thing. If a Jew has all the around it, you have a beautiful shul, you have beautiful shurim, you have your tefillin, you come to minyanim, everything perfect. You even learn Torah in the shurim, fantastic. But if you're missing the hatan, who is the hatan? If you're missing your heart in the mitzvah, if you don't have the proper intention, if you take the mitzvot as mitzvot anashim melumada, So it's all fake. And that's the message behind this week's parasha. V'Hashem yislach la, but Olam will forgive her. Why? Because what were her intentions? The intentions matters. So whenever each one of us will choose, we cannot be perfect and we're not angels, but you'll decide every morning before you step inside the shul, say, Borei Olam, I'm coming to pray to you. That's it. How many words is that? I'm coming to pray to you. You're putting a little bit of knowledge into your mind, into your heart, that the actions are not random and robotic actions. Are actions for L'Shem Shamayim, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're putting the heart into it, then the wedding has a complete different dimension. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן. למי חנניה ונפשו אומר הצער הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפי חכם ביניים תורה מצות